vision.
Here it is, boys. Soak it in.
Yeah, it's Disneyland.
I know, isn't it great? The happiest place on earth. A glorious, magical land for kids of all ages.
Didn't you bitterly exile yourself from this park for almost 2 years?
But it wasn't always this wonderful. When they opened Disneyland in 1956, nothing worked.
It opened at 55.
Nope, 56.
Jerk, it was definitely 55.
John,
When they opened Disneyland in 1956, nothing worked.
you see, why would Spielberg have spared no expense with cutting-edge CGI dinosaurs only to get a year wrong? I mean, that's just stupid.
Okay, granted, but my right nipple says it was 55.
Okay, you see that castle? Why in God's name would it have a big old 60 on it if the 60th anniversary was last year? You think I'm gonna trust some dumb nipple over a big-ass castle? That's how Brexit started.
According to Wikipedia, this park did in fact open in
Weren't you supposed to have your top 25 Disneyland countdown finished by the 60th?
1956, 57 even. I mean, you could never really trust Wikipedia. College students use it all the time, and internet reviewers.
Well, whenever it opened, 60 years ago this weekend, all of America watched it open, thanks to a newfangled invention called television. And to celebrate this momentous diamond anniversary, I have rented out the great moments of Mr. Lincoln Theater to watch the original historic telecast in its entirety. Come on, guys!
Don't look at me. I thought we were here to review Fantasmic.
We already did.
We did?
For your show.
Oh, I don't watch my show. I only watch Channel Awesome.
Stars will fall and crush your car.
How do you do, everyone? This is Hank Weaver.
And this is my less talented son, Hank Weaver Jr.
Are you ready for some theme park?
Now it announces the opening of Disneyland the Place.
Disneyland the breakfast cereal! Disneyland the flamethrower!
These 160 acres
And 4 mules.
California. This afternoon, Disneyland, the world's most fabulous kingdom,
Ruled by our fabulous leader, King Liberace XII.
premiere, and you are guests. Art Linkletter will be your host.
I'll join you as well once I finish my term paper.
We'll guide you through this truly magic land. You are now in the press room of Disneyland, which is equipped to service over 1,000 members of the worldwide press.
There's like 10 people in there. But there's room for 1,000.
Proceedings, we take you to the entrance of Disneyland and your host, Art Linkletter.
That's not Art Linkletter. That's
Satan!
Mickey Mouse, the inimitable little character that started this whole story with Walt Disney.
Now a giant demonic Christmas cookie.
Perhaps the most popular motion picture star in Hollywood.
Get off the tracks, you idiot!
Tracks with helicopters roaring overhead and cars parking by the thousands. And I'm in front of the big Disneyland and Santa Fe Railroad station.
I've tied Nell Fenwick to the tracks. Yeah!
Walt Disney himself barreling in a railroad train built to 5/8 miniature size.
Help! We're being held prisoner!
The
Help!
next hour and a half's going to be a delight. I feel like Santa Claus with a $17 million bundle of gift packages all wrapped in whimsy.
I specifically asked Santa to wrap them in mythic vagary.
29 cameras, dozens of crews, and literally miles and miles of cable. Now, of course, this is not so much a show.
Oh, good. I don't have to watch it.
Get back
The
here!
rehearsal went about the way you'd expect a rehearsal to go if you were covering 3 volcanoes all erupting at the same time and you didn't expect any of them.
Then why would you have rehearsed?
From time to time, if I say we take you now by camera to the snapping crocodiles in Adventureland.
Not too soon!
Somebody pushes the wrong button and we catch Irene Dunn adjusting her bustle on the Mark Twain.
We'll sacrifice her to those volcanoes.
It's all in fun, and that's what we're here for. The grounds are loaded.
They could quit any time they want.
1,000 people who are especially invited guests of Walt Disney's. And
I've locked them all up in the room behind me.
Disneyland, from motion picture and correspondence, from every possible kind of activity connected with the opening of the 8th wonder of the world.
King Kong?
Andre the Giant?
The dichotomy between good and evil?
Over and meet some of the people here waiting for the train to come in.
The local blacksmith hijacked it for a science
You
experiment.
might be interested in seeing the rest of the Linkletters who are all gathered around me.
Is it time for us to say the darndest things yet?
I let them all take a little vote. Diane, you're 6. Where would you like to go of all the places in Disneyland?
Superstar Limo!
Pick any one.
To the great big castle where Sleeping Beauty is.
Uncle Touchy says it's normal to watch women sleep.
I think I'd like to go to see Frontierland when Davy Crockett fights the Indians.
Genocide Land, the happiest place in the whole white world.
Trip down the Congo.
And Dawn?
I want to go to Club 33, you cheap bastard.
Rocket ship over at Tomorrowland.
And Jack?
I want to see Bob Cummings.
Whoa, son, what you do with your Navy buddies is none of my business.
Wherever they want to go. Bob Cummings, come on in here.
I'm so glad your son said
Oh, God, he's real.
Bob's going to help out here in jumping all over the grounds, describing the various things. And where do you go first?
Well, I go down on Main Street here.
Oh, come on, you're making it too easy.
Called a premiere, and I'll be seeing you.
In a couple of minutes.
Fine.
Ronnie Reagan, come on in.
The actor?
Yeah, and how about that son of yours? I've been buttering up to him all morning, hoping he'd say that about me.
What Nancy doesn't know won't hurt her.
Oh, it certainly is.
And Ron, your first job is down here in the town square.
He said, well, take a shot.
Yes, for the Main Street and the parade and so forth.
We have lots to do. Get busy.
Okay.
So long, Ron. Thanks for coming out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right about now,
The
Walt
Funk's soul
Disney
brother.
awarded E.P. Ripley. The miniature Santa Fe Disneyland Railroad train should be barreling around the outskirts of this tremendous and fantastic spot. It's a 1.25 mile track.
Oh, tell me about the rabbits, Walt.
Universal stole them from me, so I made you. The end.
First, there's Adventureland.
Down, 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 down.
Adventurous regions of the world. Then, of course, there's Tomorrowland. The time is 1986 there.
Home of Captain EO, Patrick Duffy, and that wacky Chernobyl plant.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
It's a visit to America's historic past.
Now with authentic smallpox.
A legendary land made real.
And of course, Irene Dunn adjusting her bustle on the Mark Twain. Oh no, it's another stupid
Old
land.
Disneyland, and the thing nearest and dearest to Walt Disney's heart. Out this way, there's a heliport.
A hell of a heliport.
And actually, helicopters land there with passengers from the international airport.
Wow, Cars Land has really gotten out of control.
Where 12,000 cars can be parked. 24,000 if they pave over the first 12,000, and then park others on top of them. Of course, that's a little the hard way.
Well, we're 5 minutes in, and Art's already having a stroke.
Which surround this place completely, and this place was an orange grove itself a year ago.
Bring back the orange groves. That's what Walt would have wanted.
And coming in the gate are all kinds of families. Hey, Danny Thomas!
Damn it, now we gotta make room for him.
How are you? That's Danny and his gang.
Aw, you don't want to mess with the Danny Thomas gang. They'll turn your ass to walnuts.
They're going through the magic tunnel on foot because no car can enter here.
Not with that attitude.
Like Alice in Wonderland, as you go on through that tunnel past the Disneyland Santa Fe, you find yourself in a bygone time.
Alice in Wonderland was a bygone time?
Nah, no one saw that sequel.
And you're in the main square of a small American town, the year 1900.
Back when everyone worried needlessly about the Y1.9K bug.
Let's take a look around.
Okay, done. Now let's go get some Knott's preserves.
Quaint and dignified with its post office, the place where the citizens of the town gather to exchange gossip and hear the latest news of the day.
I hear tell young Miss Irene Dunn was caught adjusting her bustle on the Mark Twain.
Fire station.
We're gonna die! Oh.
The special interest of the Volunteer Bucket Brigade, whose horse-drawn engine and up-to-date hose and chemical wagon are a source of real local pride.
Oh no, I can see backstage. The magic is ruined, the illusion is dead. Everything I know is a lie. I'm just another lemon going off the cliff with every other... Ow!
And that little old streetcar will be going up and down Main Street here in Disneyland about every 10 or 15 minutes, day in and day out.
At the drudgeriest place on earth.
A block of very interesting and quaint little stores.
Stock room, pleasure chest, a touch of romance, hustler Hollywood, all your shopping needs in one block.
A new pair of tan high-button shoes.
All these park employees grew up to be Steve Martin.
And every one of those buildings is 5/8 real size.
3/10 real size in metric.
Of course, and the windows are full size, but the buildings themselves are 5/8. The people you see up and down the street, however, are full-size people. They were not made by Walt Disney.
But he'll acquire them eventually.
The old-time music shop should be in there somewhere.
It should be, but they're not paying me enough to look for it.
Courting a gal, that's where you buy your mandolin or your banjo and start tuning it up for the Sunday canoe ride.
Ah, trapped in a canoe with a banjo player. Truly every gal's dream.
21st century schizoid man.
And those free band concerts were one of the big social highlights of the week. Any week.
Even Shark Week?
Especially Shark Week.
Jenny Lind or a Chautauqua lecture might take place.
They tried showing our American cousin there, but it didn't end well.
A girl for a ride in an 1898 Locomobile, the hot rod of its day.
Are you mocking a bygone era for its technological limitations? Who would stoop to such a thing? For shame, sir!
Main Street. I got my whole family with me, my lovely wife,
Mary and my daughter Melinda and Bob.
We've never met this lunatic before. Someone help us.
Grandma used to tell me about back in Joplin, Missouri. Sometimes she had a whole penny for herself to spend on a Saturday night.
And a handy-dandy abortion only cost a nickel.
Now, right over here is a candy palace. Now, that's probably where Grandma got those licorice whips and the jujubes.
No, not the jujubes. Not the jujubes. Ah!
Complete with all sorts of shooting galleries and kinetoscopes.
Nice, wholesome, small-town American porn and violence.
Of the original silent motion picture. And, of course, there's the bake shop. And then there's the jams and jelly stores.
Yep, nowhere else to get those in Orange County. Certainly not any sort of berry farm or place.
Store. I guess next to marrying Grandpa, the biggest thrill she ever had was to have a dish of Tutti Frutti ice cream and a sarsaparilla.
Then Grandma told me what that was a euphemism for, and I'll never be clean again.
Machine, if you can see it through the crowd. And say, on the Gibson greeting card corner, right there, I think is a monkey.
Monkey?
And an organ grinder. I can't quite see him now.
Where's the monkey? What happened to the monkey? Where's the monkey? I was promised a monkey. What happened to the monkey? That's a child, you bastard!
A little further, here is one of the most famous motion pictures.
Well, looks like Walt found the blue monkey diamond.
They run exactly six silent motion pictures at once at the theater.
Sometimes they just show Cloud Atlas to save time.
And believe me, if Grandma was here, she'd come and see one of the series of Perils of Pauline tonight.
If I just keep talking about Grandma, she'll eventually hear me and wake up. Won't you, Grandma? Won't you, Grandma?
The E.P. Ripley is rolling around the Santa Fe Disneyland railroad tracks with Walt Disney at the controls, and in the cab with him,
demon!
Surprised to know, is the governor of the state of California.
We elected that thing to be our governor?
We really wanted to prove that we could, in fact, do worse than Arnold.
Oh.
The 5/8 size train. You'll see the little boys and girls dressed in the foreign costumes of their countries because they're the
Wow, before iPhones, kids really did just stare silently at each other.
Now, the track is 1.5 miles around. The train runs about every 10 or 12 minutes. In fact, there are two trains.
Two chains!
There's a passenger train and there's a freight train. And each one can take several hundred passengers. Takes about 6 minutes to go around the track.
Oh, God, is this whole park just an elaborate math problem?
Disneyland, and cuts it out from the outside world. So once you get inside Disneyland...
The only escape is to fight Goofy to the death.
Now, if you look on down the track, you see Mickey Mouse there at the controls.
Wait, you're not Mickey?
Shut up and drive this train to Mexico!
Duplicate of the engines that ran over 50 years ago. You can see the conductor there with his brass buttons glistening in the sun, the arms of the children.
Not the rest of the children, just the disembodied arms.
Hello, Governor. Hi.
Mark?
How'd the run go? Oh, fine. The governor had her around through Frontierland, and then Fred Gurley there, he took her around. I picked her up and brought her in.
But enough about the orgy last night.
Governor.
Glad to see you, Art.
Governor Knight of California, ladies and gentlemen, and Walt Disney, of course, and Mr. Gurley, the president of the Santa Fe.
In the 1900s, if a man grew up with the name Gurley, he pretty much had to become president of something.
Santa Fe and Disneyland.
You gentlemen have lots to do down in the square, so we'll see you at the dedication.
Fine. Thank you, Art.
All right, there they go.
Wait a minute, who's driving?
Off-brand Mickey, no!
Sorry about that, folks. It was my first park, and I'm still getting used to my programming.
I've got to get down and start getting ready to cover the parade, which is going to go down Main Street in a couple of seconds. And after a few words...
Okay, it's been a couple of seconds. Where's the damn parade?
Take it away for the dedication ceremonies to Disneyland.
Where the hell am I?
Main Street ready for the official opening ceremony.
Apparently I missed out on seeing a monkey. Oh, well, maybe someday.
All activity on Main Street has ceased. Those carriages which have lined up for the parade to follow are full of celebrities.
I respectfully refuse to name any of them.
Walt Disney, Governor Knight, the mayor of Anaheim, and other dignitaries are talking to the three chaplains representing the Protestant, Catholic, and Jewish faith.
The Jew wouldn't ride the train for some reason.
Walt Disney will step forward to read the dedication of Disneyland.
What's the deal with Mouseketeers? Did they brandish Mouseskets? Is this thing on?
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
I'm some jerk with a can.
Disneyland is your land.
Oh.
Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future.
A future where I rule you all!
The ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America.
You know, all those fantasy castles and African jungles America has.
An inspiration to all the world. Thank you.
The most iconic speech in theme park history is greeted with a polite golf clap.
Military chaplains representing the various creeds are present, but all were agreed that
I
it
have
would be
known
most
Walt
fitting.
Disney for many years.
Oh, don't mind me. I wasn't saying anything or anything. I'm just a future
Man who
president.
has dreamed Disneyland into being. Let us join with him, then, in dedicating these wonder-filled acres
My name is Slugworth. I congratulate you on finding the last e-ticket.
to understanding and goodwill among men, laughter for children,
Women can go to hell.
mature, and aspiration for young people everywhere. And beyond the creeds that would divide us,
Ask not what Walt would have done. Ask what Irene Dunn would have walted.
may prosper at God's hand.
Or Satan's with the original DCA.
And at this exact moment, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride just blows up suddenly.
Amen.
That was Walt Disney's nephew, the Reverend Glenn D. Pewter.
I got to speak second, because I'm his nephew.
The Honorable Goodwin
Thank you,
Knight, Governor of
Ronald Reagan.
California.
What, did Robert Altman direct
Mrs.
this?
Disney, Reverend clergy, and my fellow Americans. Today is a wonderful day, and all America is proud.
Even Nebraska. This is their first proud moment ever.
This is a wondrous community with all the charm of the old world and all of the progress and ingenuity of the new world.
The Black Plague and cyberbullies, together at last.
For children and grown-ups alike. There are replicas of every town and city in America. Stores, libraries, schools, just like your hometown.
In fact, why even bother coming? Just stay home, you're not missing much.
Under the belief that this is a God-fearing and a God-loving country.
This was back when separation of church and state was more of a polite
The
suggestion.
knowledge that we are the fortunate ones to be Americans, and that we extend to everyone, everywhere, the great ideals of Americanism.
Whether they want them or not. You hear me, Paris?
Towards men.
Hey, they skipped the Jew!
Oh no, we accidentally ordered a Russian flag.
No, pull it this way!
No, you're doing it wrong.
Stop it, I am not!
Quit hogging all the rope.
It was mine first!
Shut up, the both
Just
of
go
you.
away and let me
Never
do
let
this
me have any
right.
fun. Whoa! Star Spangled Banner performed by the Portsmouth Sinfonia.
Dear God, what have I done? I sunk my entire fortune into this boondoggle. I'm ruined. Ruined!
Yeah, 1 minute you're fighting Nazis on the beaches at Normandy, next minute you're helping a talking mouse open a Ferris wheel or something.
Not a bad tune, but it needs a vocalist. If only Roseanne had visited 4 decades early.
If we just never stop dedicating this thing, no one will ever know that Tomorrowland is just a stack of plywood.
Yeah, I know even more communist names I could name.
And Walt checks to make sure the sniper's in place.
This park has been unavoidably detained by prankish spirits.
And any moment now, a flight of planes from the 146th Fighter Interceptor Wing of the California Air National Guard will be over as a tribute to Governor Goodwin Knight. Now the parade is on. And here we go to the roof of a Main Street building and Art Linkletter.
Wait, what happened to the planes?
There were never any planes. Enough of this nonsense about planes.
Am I supposed to be... No, I guess not.
Camera 2, get back to the parade. Camera 2, pan back to the parade. Camera 2, there's a parade going on, just slightly to your right. Why are you... Yes, they're all getting in the car. We get it. There's an entire parade with a marching band and everything over... You're just daring me to cut away now, aren't you? Aren't you? Well, I got news for you. I'm no quitter. I refuse to take camera 3. And... Ow.
Ah, it never fails. Right when you open a park, the damn Vogons show up.
Yes, the most visually compelling thing about airplanes is how they sound.
So... Disney.
The Lands of Fate?
Yep.
You know, it's almost like the special wasn't made specifically to cater to the attention spans of snarky douchebags mocking it 6 decades later.
And here we are, my son Jack and I, up on the second floor.
Main Street is a second floor?
Yeah, that's where they have Club 34, a club so exclusive its own waitstaff isn't told where it is.
They usually just wander around town square, randomly handing people silverware. It's sad, really.
The massed armed forces, color guard from all of the 4 armed services, and behind the Marine Band
is Miss Piggy, dressed as a Statue of Liberty.
Pierce, with Walt Disney and Governor Knight.
Governor Knight looking lovely in that dress.
Wife, Virginia Knight, and then come the 1904 Rambler with Marjorie Rain.
He's been making up literally all of this for the past 4 minutes.
I survived the train crash. Tell me I'm still pretty.
It's a real cavalcade of Disneyland characters.
Hey, look, it's ugly and mangly and deformy and abomination-y and don't look at me, I'm a monster-y and look, we clearly had to throw these together last night, cut us some freaking slacky and Seymour.
Cavorting up and down the street.
Dumbo's allergic to bee stings.
A young Dick Cheney.
Dumbo and Pluto and Donald Duck and all the other characters are from the Walt Disney costumes created by John Harris.
Don't worry, folks. I'll make sure that costume maker gets what's coming to him.
In the distance comes the floats. That's Cinderella.
Cinderella's more her suit than I remember.
Pulled by 2 ponies.
Oh no, the spell wore off and they all turned back into the ugly dwarves.
A white horse carrying Cinderella's glass slippers.
We're having fun in cartoon land.
Listen to the kids.
Even the camera couldn't bear to look at them.
For an all-free party on Walt Disney. Now here comes the Frontierland.
Manifest Destiny.
Up near the front, but Davy Crockett. Old Faz Parker, he's the beard and all. And the Davy Crockett Mounted Scouts. Buddy Epson's there too.
Sir, we don't allow selfie sticks in the park. Oh, it's just a gun. Never mind.
Carnation Ice Cream Pavilion here on Main Street is riding with them.
I'm gonna tell David Berkowitz to kill you all.
Governor Frank Clement of Tennessee riding aboard. Aye. And there's Annie Oakley coming up now.
Yes, the famous fictional Disney character Annie Oakley.
She looks great for 94.
Stagecoach is Gail Storm and Danny Thomas and his family. He's a popular fellow with all the crowd.
Throw your partner off the float, drop him in the castle mode.
Yeah.
He's gonna sell that accordion door to door in Linwood.
Yeah.
My escape pod crash landed in the parking lot. What year is this? Is this what humanity is now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Characters, all of whom will be seen.
I only eat free-range bumper cars.
Introduction to Disneyland. Here come a bunch of square dancers dancing on a little thing drawn by horses.
Well, it's still more dignified than soundsational.
Yes, and they're actually calling square dances up there. The Boy Scouts of America, the Orange Empire Council, helped out in the Indian group, by the way.
Who better to tell indigenous people how to act like indigenous people than Mormon white kids?
But for representing a very important group, Adventureland. Well, I guess we got more parade than we can handle today.
I once went on a 3-day parade bender in New Orleans. You people are lightweights.
Yes, sir. Okay, Art Linkletter, thank you very much. You did a wonderful job there describing that.
Did he?
I'm at the head of the parade now, ladies and gentlemen, and my job here is to more or less give you an orientation process because I am standing at about the center of this giant 160-acre of Disneyland.
All of those were technically words, yes.
The parade is coming directly to my back.
This guy was the Tobias Funke of his day.
Is the fabulous Tomorrowland. Directly behind you
is the murderer!
Disneyland, which you will all see very soon. Directly to your right
are jokers, to your left are clowns, and here you are, stuck in the middle with me, Bob Cummings.
And slightly forward is Adventureland. Now, of course, all the segments of this wonderful parade and their casts are now breaking up.
I blame Yoko.
Going to the various sections of Disneyland. Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Adventureland,
the Sudetenland,
as I told you. Standing here has been one of the most exciting moments of my life.
Working with Hitchcock was horse shit.
Anyone who's been here today will say, as the people did many years ago, when they were at the opening of the Eiffel Tower, I was there.
But try opening Disneyland near the Eiffel Tower and all hell breaks loose.
It's a fabulous thing to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Well,
that's racist. Anyway.
This is one of the greatest parades, man-made parades I've ever seen.
It can't compare to organic, natural parades, of course.
Jobs of gathering together talent and workmen
Stupid Skype!
In just 1 minute, we will start our exciting trip to Frontierland, the Old West, and Davy Crockett.
Worst lip sync ever.